The latest, south side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah, it's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Ganty, so the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews, trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good to hear that song again.
Boom.
It's been a minute. I'm not kidding. When I posted that picture of like that kid whose like face is about to explode and the veins are popping off his head, that's what I feel like if I miss a week of this show, dude. It's weird, but when you do something every week for the last 5 years, if you don't do it, it doesn't feel normal. Like
Yeah.
my whole perception of
routine
time, my whole perception of time was just out of whack the last. Because like I didn't know what day it was. Because it's seriously like Wednesday night. I'm sitting here doing this. It's weird, but all right, people are coming in now. Let's just get started. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, May 2nd, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I'm your host, Matt Swaski, aka Southside Zoe, aka Father Zoe, and with me, as always, my man, Mr. Aldo Soto.
I don't know how they're doing it. Half the team's on the IL, the other half can't hit. But the pallet time pounder, shout out Mitch, Mike Talkman, keeping the Cubs alive. Shota Imanaga, Cy Young, MVP, give him all the awards. Cubs are winning.
Nice.
They're a little fun. They're a little frustrating right now, but they're surviving, baby. I love it.
Must be nice. So as I mentioned before we went live, so I should probably say it again for the podcast listeners, but I missed last week, and for a team that's absolute dog shit, 6-25, there's a lot to talk about with this team. I mean, there's the old saying that goes, winning solves a lot of shit, which is true, and they're not winning. So all the wrinkles, all the scars, all the skeletons, all whatever metaphor you want to use is coming out right now. It's a war zone on Twitter.
Oh, baby.
It's madness right now. So we're gonna get into yeah. So with all that being said, as always, this show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications so you'll be the first to know any and all Chicago breaking news. Sports Mockery and sportsmockery.com. And also, show love to the new homies, the new sponsor, our boys over at Homage, Homage. There's a QR code in this corner. I don't know what corner people watching it looks like, but it's that corner. Scan that code, visit them, buy some stuff. And I've been rocking their gear for a while. I went to the Sox game on Tuesday night, and I was wearing the 1983 Winning Ugly shirt. Super comfortable, very true to size. I'm a big t-shirt guy, and I like the soft shirts. Soft. I like them soft. So I like the soft t-shirt stuff. They fit the bill. Really nice. You know, I didn't think it was possible, but they make me look even more handsome. So yeah, go check them out. QR codes up there. I know Fids is in a cabana right now rocking the Grateful Dead Cubs gear. And see, that's the thing. They got every team, man. They got a partnership with the Grateful Dead if you're into that. And even if you're not, the shirts are fucking cool. I'm sure they love me dropping F-bombs in their promo. But they got kid stuff, women stuff that you don't find on like MLB.com or NFL.com. It's pretty cool. Check them out. Homage. And we'll leave that QR code up in the top corner throughout the whole show. And shout out to our man, Drew, for the first super chat of the night. Lots of handsome on the screen. Evening, gents. We appreciate that, Drew. Thank you very much. Where do we start, Aldo? Oh, my God. That guy. I know where we're going to start. So,
What's been bugging you? What's the number one thing?
There's so much stuff, but
Or
I know where to start.
Better give you something good.
I know where to start. So, from the suggestion of a friend, I went to the game on Tuesday, and I've always been a big advocate. If you want to go to a baseball game, go. I went by myself. It was cool. I sat in the 108, talked to all the homies. It was awesome. For those people that either said it in jest or really meant it, they were like, I liked it better when the place was empty. It's empty. There's no lines for anything. There's not a line. The only thing that had a line is because they would close down certain concession stands because there was no need to have that many open, and it forced people to all go to like one purpose one.
Yeah.
Tuesday night's $5 beer night, so I thought it'd be maybe a little more crowded. No. Park, walked right in, no line, no anything. Did a lap around the stadium, sat down, enjoyed I enjoyed it. Obviously, I like a crowded feel because you get that hype, you build off the energy from everybody. But sitting in the 108 with those guys and people that actually care about the game and the team, I mean, we still got up and celebrated. It didn't hurt that I had money on Danny Mendick hitting a home run.
That was nice.
He did it. I went nuts on that one. But I don't know, man. It's a real kind of just like a loser vibe when you go there. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I'm glad you're saying
Yeah.
this, though, and
No,
not
I
me
am.
saying
And
it.
this is like boots on the ground, firsthand stuff, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking around from where I'm sitting. First of all, there was like a weird Tuesday night bachelorette party, which go for it. Go get you some
No
bills.
comment on the man Tuesday night. Guaranteed rate fee.
Yeah.
No comment. Having fun.
But like it seemed like a lot of like work outings, and it didn't seem like a lot of people were paying attention. And I saw a lot of Twins jerseys, man. I saw a lot of Twins gear, which why not, dude? That's a quick flight down. Go knock a ballpark off the list.
And you can get
And you
cheap
get 500 section. So if you work for the White Sox or you're affiliated, close your ears for a minute, earmuffs. If you know they're going to close the 500 section, buy a 500 level ticket for like $4 and walk your ass down.
Ooh.
What are they going to do? Tell you can't sit?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little hack there. Yeah. What? Yeah. What do they do? Yeah. What?
No, I know firsthand that they just tell you like just sit somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's still $30 to park, but I mean, no, Dom, I get what you're saying. It's more to Drew's fact, dude. I was in the outfield, like walkway area or whatever. You can hear the ball fizzing into the mitt. Like you could hear the pop. That's how quiet it was. And then watching the game on Wednesday, the day game, was brutal because there was like 2 or 3 guys that were close enough to the microphone, and you could hear them just being complete assholes. They're like booing Correa. They're fucking yelling like pitcher, or we want a pitcher, not a belly itcher. Like just stupid juvenile shit. Clearly intoxicated. Maybe mixing a water, fellas. Mixing a water on a Wednesday afternoon. I don't know. Get crazy. I'm not trying to tell you how. But it was just it's not a great vibe. And again, this is excluding the people that sit in that section in right field. And it doesn't have to just be them. There's people across White Sox Twitter. There's still diehards in the fans and stuff like that. It's just the vibe is not great. And granted, it was a random Tuesday night game against the Twins.
Day. Weekend was popping.
Well, yeah, giveaway days have been popping. Weekends, even without a giveaway, have been good. I mean, the weather's ridiculously nice for end of April, beginning of May. I mean, it's 76 degrees and sunny. You know what I mean? Like, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt at the game on Tuesday night, which is wild. I remember going to a game against Detroit a couple of years ago, the last week of April, and it snowed. Like, we were literally having snowball fights in the stands. So I get the weekends have been crazy. And then anytime our friends over at the Chicago Sports Bum host a tailgate, that's going to fill a section. I mean, at this point, the White Sox should be fucking paying them because they're bringing out professional chefs. They got the DJ, they got the whiskey, they got all that stuff. But like, people go for that and then they stumble into the game, but they're still buying tickets and going into the game. So I don't know. That was a really weird vibe, but I will say for the people that were there and the people that I know that keep going, that's like some OG shit. Like I was talking to Beef, and this kind of triples over into this new like internal war that's going on Twitter. The White Sox have been decent for a couple years. Not good. Not good. Decent. To the point where they win games. So some of these wrinkles and people can get along and everybody's on a high, like, whoa, Luis Robert might be MVP, but there's none of that shit anymore. So people are going at each other's throats because there's nothing else to talk about. And Beef even said it, he goes, I think we've had too many cushy years. We're gonna weed out some people this year. And I couldn't agree more. There's people that just, for better or for worse, one way or the other, maybe it's not that they're like weak or anything. They're like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's 2 a.m. and the lights are on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see shit for what it really is now. And it'd be really, 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 really easy for me to just get up here every week and just absolutely shit on this team because they deserve it. Fucking terrible. They have 6 wins. It's May 2nd. But I don't think I'm going to do that, dude. Like, obviously, we're going to talk about some of the bad stuff, but I don't think I'm just going to be like, and this is terrible, and this is terrible, and this is terrible. It's still the team I love. I'm still going to root for that team. And there is some good stuff going on. I feel like, I guess we can get into actual baseball now, like, the beginning of the year was really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, 1 through 9, I think the highest batting average was 210. Like, it was on Tuesday, I was actually in the stands and Martin Maldonado got a hit and we all looked at the scoreboard and his average went from like 0.9091 to 0.101 and we all started cheering, going 3 digits. But you're starting to see some guys come around a little bit. I'm not saying I don't need 100 people jumping down my throat. They got 6 wins. I know they suck. I get it. They suck. But if you're looking for some good things in this mound of shit, if you will, let's talk. I mean, you can start with Gavin Sheets. Gavin Sheets is having a very good start to the season for Gavin Sheets. If you look at his Baseball Savant page, there is a lot of red and dark red. I mean, right now, he's got 90 at-bats on the season, 7 doubles, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 267, 362, 444 with an OPS of 806, and he's got a positive WAR, which on this team, that's a big deal.
Not many.
I mean, I know, but that's where we're at. And he's playing right field, which I still don't like seeing Gavin Sheets in right field. He hasn't made a huge blunder yet, which is fine. Okay, I emphasize the word yet. But he's been having a pretty salvageable beginning of the year. I like Corey Lee. I like what he's been doing. They had that graphic I shared in our chat today. He's got the fastest throw to second base from catcher. He's been throwing people out. Like threw Buxton out. He's throwing people out at third. He's got a cannon, dude. And Steve Stone pointed it out. It was really, he goes, all these guys in Major League have really good arms. The guys that separate themselves are the ones that have good footwork. Mm-hmm. And Corey Lee, I mean, he's rocking them Jordan 1s. He's popping up. He's got him down. But the biggest thing, though, and what did me and you, especially me and you, what did we harp on him for last year? He couldn't fucking hit.
Yeah.
And
it's been his turnaround.
Yes.
I don't think people, because a lot of fans checked out at the end of the second half, and especially at the end. Corey Lee, for how many ever plate appearances he had at the end, let me check. I'm on his Fangraphs page. So he had 70 plate appearances. He went, I'm trying to find this fucking hit number. He batted 077. Like that was worse than Martin Maldonado.
Yep. He was an automatic out.
It was automatic, and I remember looking it up one day because like you kept every game. I was like, all right, how are some of these guys on the Sox that they traded for, and they were playing? How are they doing? Like Corey Lee, okay, like former top 100 prospect from the Astros. He's got to be. There's some talent there, right? He historically, for those 70 plate appearances, had one of the worst showings ever, like all time. Go back to like 1900, just all like, and that's with like pitchers. Like with pitchers included, just all-time bad. And this dude's now a productive hit. Like he's above average. He has a 111 WRC plus. That homer that he hit on Wednesday to straight center,
That was
right center.
not an easy homer either. He
I
turned on a
think it was
ball
like an
breaking
inside pitch.
inside. Breaking
And then he
inside.
takes that's good power right there.
And that's a good sign that he's seeing the ball well and his swing's on point. I mean, like 255, 293, 455 with an OPS of 748. And again, positive WAR. Like, why isn't Corey playing every day?
Yeah, he should be playing more. It's this. And like you mentioned Gavin Sheets. Like, okay, like why the hell is he playing right fielder? Like he shouldn't be. Like it's just like you guys got Tommy Pham, great, boom. I like it. Cool. Dominic Flesher, I don't think he's gonna be good. He's been kind of bad to bad. Like I get it. Like, okay, you want this, and he was starting to get benched. So all right, he's not gonna be playing every day. That's a problem. And maybe he wasn't even gonna be playing every day either if there weren't injuries. Like if Luis Robert Jr. is still out in the lineup, like he's not playing anyway. Okay, but he's not. There are injuries. Mitch touched on it on a show earlier today. Check that out. Like this is the time. This is the year where guess what? The wins don't really matter that much. You do want to find out what some of these guys are. Like why are you Gavin Sheets? That's cool. 800 OPS, productive hitter. Why is he taking outfield starts away from one of the starting outfielders that he traded for? Like what?
Right.
Why? What the hell is the point? That's the part I don't get. But keep positive. Corey Lee, I think he's like in the top 3 best storylines so far for the White Sox this year.
Yep. No,
like him, Garrett Crochet, and like Eric Fetty.
Well, you know that I was somewhat weirdly high on Corey Lee when they brought him in. I always thought he was good, and because I watched him come from Cal, and I thought he was going to be a great catcher in this league. Then he kind of got buried a little bit in the Astros system, and I got fired up a little bit when we got him for what I think is next to nothing. You know what I mean? Because I don't think what's his face is tearing up the league over there. No one in Houston's tearing up the league right now.
It was kind of great, then he got hurt after.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So then you get the storyline of Corey Lee and Andrew Vaughn were teammates at Cal, so that's cool. And then it helps him ease into it. But then he just shows up, and the arm's there. The defense was always there. That was never a question. It's just he couldn't hit water throwing a ball outside the boat. Like he couldn't hit shit. And then you get your stereotypical blah blah blah. He put in the work this offseason, but it's showing with him. You could see a vast improvement with his plate appearance, like his plate approach, the way he's looking at the game, and the fact that he took an 80, I think it was like an 83, 86 mile an hour breaking down and in ball out to right center. That's a great sign to me. That means that dude, although you got to bring back that hat, apparently, got to give the people what they want.
That was off season. I'll bring it back to have some fun times.
But yeah, I mean, so I guess we should go to the next guy because Dom in the comments there, he's not a big Eloy fan. It's too streaky for me. It's just way too streaky for me. And the thing that's really bothering me about Eloy is he's not seeing pitches. He's going up and swinging at the first pitch and grounding out to shortstop. When he puts together a good at-bat, sees pitches, gets a little more in the groove, starts getting his timing, whatever, that's when we've seen good baseball. We've seen the doubles, the home runs, even though it's only been 3. But it's just I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he just wants to hurry up and like sit down. But like he's not terrible. Right now he's at a 98 WRC plus. It's not like he's like
Yeah, I mean he's been on a hot streak since it took him a bit after coming back from the IL stint. But he's been pretty decent the past, 10 days maybe? Yeah, I was thinking about this with some other guys looking around the league. Like guys who, were maybe rookies or starting out back in 2018, 2019. Like we all know that the balls were super juiced. Like some of those home run numbers were insane, right? And like Eloy had 31, 33, and he didn't even play the full season. And like as a White Sox fan, how could you not get excited, right? At the time, be like, well, I mean, this guy hit, 30 plus home runs. He missed 40 games. this guy's going to be guaranteed 40 home run guy moving forward. The injuries come in,
Mhm.
the inconsistencies. I mean, last year, even when he did play a decent amount, just a lot of ground balls, and you still see more of that than you would like. And it's like,
Yep.
well, maybe he just. I mean, I do think the injuries do play a part in this, but like maybe he just wasn't that huge home run hitter. Like I know he has the big body, we saw the power, but like
Yep.
those home run numbers were really inflated, man.
Yep. They sure were. And I mean, that's I think one of the most frustrating parts about Eloy is you can see it when the hands are on, and he could get to a ball quick, and he demolishes baseballs. But that's not, to your point, that's not like a true power hitter. Like Pete Alonso can hit
Like
a
yeah,
ball
like Pete
anywhere at any
Alonso's
time.
yeah,
That's a
bomb.
power hitter. Like
Yeah.
Pete Alonso could take one off the handle and still get it over the wall. Like that's a power guy. Eloy needs to barrel it. You know what I mean? It's just, and now I still gasp every time he runs. On Tuesday, he went from first to third, and everyone in the 108 stood up, just stay there. Like, it was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, Don, I'm not going to get into that. Does he even care? I think that's kind of a shitty thing to talk about when talking about professional athletes because no one knows. I don't know. You don't know.
Like it, yeah. I mean, we
You know
talked
what I
about it
mean?
last
It's
year.
just,
Like
yeah,
we talked about it with Ben and Tendi last week, and I brought that up. It's like because like obviously the alternate story of that is like, oh well, that means he just sucks, right? Like
right,
because you always you want to project. It's like, well, why does he suck so much? Like, but like it's always like we're all hypocrites as sports fans because we see guys when they're doing bad, right? And we're
right,
like, oh, why are they in the dugout laughing? When they're bad, right? It's like, hey, why aren't they taking this more like why aren't they showing that they care? Why are they joking around? Why aren't they taking this seriously? And then
right,
when you see guys who are just like dejected or like, look mad, we also say, oh, like this guy's like pressing too hard. Like he needs to relax. Or, this is why he sucks because he's taking it too seriously. He needs to chill out. It's like you can't
right,
have both ways. And like I mean, as fans, we're all victim to playing into that. It's like, I mean, these guys, you don't get to this high level, and I know they've been disappointing, but like they care. Like as much as we want to
right.
be like, oh, these guys don't
No, they
fucking
do care.
like they care.
This
Like, it's
is
just it.
their livelihood, man.
You know what? Because as fans, we always when we have expectations. We have expectations either whatever it is that we think a guy's going to be good, we think a guy's going to be bad, we think a guy's going to be in between, right? Selfishly, we want to find reasons to be right. And when we get evidence that they're wrong, we want to find out the reasons why, right? Because Eloy Jimenez, like top prospect, looked like a future like multiple time All-Star Silver Slugger
He
guy.
broke a light, although he broke a
Right.
light during a
This
home run
dude,
derby.
and like he was doing this back when he was still a Cubs prospect. It was like, no, this guy, it's like,
Yep,
oh, the Cubs traded Gleyber Torres, no problem. They have an even better prospect. I remember those storylines. I remember
yep,
writing about that. It's just like, yeah, Eloy Jimenez was like a legit prospect who was gonna be like a middle of the order bat for a decade. And then obviously things haven't gone that way. And like it's just like sometimes maybe guys just aren't as good as we think they're gonna be. And that kind of
right.
sucks. It's like, well, what the
It
hell? Because
does.
then you project on to other guys. It's like, well, if this guy wasn't good, why the hell should I believe that this other guy who
I
has all
agree.
this hype is gonna be good?
And we're already starting to see that in the White Sox because people, when they talk about these prospects now, are like, well, what about what happened with like Moncada? It's like, no, dude, stop. Very different person. But I guess to put a bow on, like, does this guy care? Nothing is promised to Eloy after this season.
It's a contract here, basically.
We are club option city now, and his salary goes up if they pick that up.
And
It
it's
goes
so
from
huge
13 to
because
16.5.
like look at the offseason that we just had, right? Tommy Pham, who is showing up, is a professional hitter. He is a good hitter, right? He
He's
can help
literally a
out
professional
any
hitter.
team. He didn't sign until this season started.
Nope.
Eloy Jimenez can't play the outfield. He is only a right-handed DH. Like
Which
if he, I think regardless, like no team, if he gets traded, if he stays, that option's not going to get picked up. He's has to just go out there and show like, guys, I can still hit. Pay me, please, because he's not going to be making more than a few $1,000,000. And that goes down from what? What's the club option like 13, 14 million?
No, he's making 13 this year. His club option 16.5.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to go from that to like making Tim Anderson.
He's going Tim Anderson route. Right now he's going the TA route. And
like if this keeps going,
why,
like he has a couple weeks, but then he sucks for 3, and then he's hot again for a week. Like that's no team's like going out there like, yeah, we need this DH only guy.
Right. Someone will roll the dice on him. I feel more confident that someone will roll the dice on Eloy than they did TA. But I also
a little younger, I guess. So
younger. I mean, more pop at the plate.
Pop.
I mean, I feel like, but he's gonna lose out on.
Like he's gonna lose out on
$11 million.
Like he's not. That
like
option's not gonna get picked up anymore.
$10-11 million. That's wild. And so that's why I can't sit here and say like, I don't think he cares.
Right.
Would you care for $10 million? You know what I mean? Like, he cares. They all care. This is their livelihood. Like, this is their job. You know what I mean? But like Aldo said, if you show them in the dugout and they're throwing Gatorade coolers and looking like, they're about to have a heart attack, like, oh, he's pushing. He's pressing.
It's like, oh, this guy's a psycho. Get him off the team.
Right.
He's not. His head's off.
But I will say you don't see a lot of the high mom and all that other goofy shit he usually does. He's like in between, man. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe he needs to
I think he also, like these guys, these guys are aware. They're on social media. They know. He knows that that's not going to play with fans now.
No.
And also,
I guess,
like you said, that cute shit is fun when you're winning. When you're on the worst team in baseball, you're gonna get shit.
Are they the worst anymore?
Second worst, maybe.
I think the Marlins are the worst.
Marlins. Well, they got that White Sox stink on.
Yes, they got
Jake Burger. Even though Jake Burger was like their best player.
Not right now.
But he got injured. He got injured.
Wait, nope. White Sox are the worst team. They're 6-25. Marlins are on a heater. They're 8-24.
Oof. Oh, they went on a little winning streak there, huh?
The Rockies are 7-23.
Jeez.
But yeah, we're right there. And it's so frustrating for so many different things. But I guess I want to go swerve again to get off of baseball because I've had a couple people ask me about this, and I said I'd address it tonight. So I think we should just get into it right off the bat, early in the show. I've never seen this many people give a shit about a play-by-play announcer. Not to this point, man. Not to like where people are getting really nasty towards each other because of it, like really bad.
Well, I was gonna say it's because we're in the peak the Twitter age,
dumpster.
So we see it a lot more. But I'm pretty sure people were getting. If Twitter was around back in like the late 2000s, people would get their takes off on Hawk Harrelson, and there would be a little civil war with that.
So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, we all know Benintendi left. Benintendi left. And John how the fuck do you say this? Scherfen? I don't know. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. New guy. He comes in and it's already tough when you're taking over for a guy that was pretty well liked. Scherfen. Thank you, Drew. That's why you're a good listener to the show, man. I appreciate you. Scherfen. I love how people now give me the pronunciation. I
would need it too.
John Scherfen comes in. He takes over for a guy who was pretty well liked. Obviously, no one is going to have everyone like him. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's already tough enough when you're coming into that situation. Second thing is no one really knew who he was coming into it. It's not like they went and got like a known guy or, something like that. All we really knew he was coming from was ESPN. And then at the home opener, first game of the season, he shows up to Chicago Sports Bum tailgate. Great first move. Fantastic first move. You know, people are like, okay, maybe this guy's going to be a little different. Maybe he gets it, you know, whatever. And then I've said on this show, I've had some criticisms of him. You know, he's pronounced names wrong. He's said the wrong things with certain baseball type situations, which first year, I never said anything like I hate the guy or anything like that. I just said like he's got some kinks to work out, which we all do. Not a big deal. But then fucking Andrew Benintendi hits a walk-off home run. Finally, something good happens in the world of White Sox baseball. He does this home run call, and he's out of his shoes excited, and he does the South Side for all you haters out there. South Side, stand up. And I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. When I first heard it, I was like, hell yeah. Like I was, you know, you know very well, and I definitely know we have a lot of pride in being Southsiders. You know what I mean? Like, and so when that was right time, right place, like everybody was like, hell yeah, like great call. I was juiced.
It's
whatever.
a great catchphrase.
It is. And then, but I'm not gonna say great catchphrase because then they win the next day.
Good.
And it's good. But then they win the next day, and it was just like it felt very forced. Like in the moment when it was the walk-off situation, it was like, oh hell yeah, like that you're going with the moment, everybody's pumped. And then they win the next day, and it's like something else for the haters or something. He brought up that shit again, and then he's just like, South Side, stand up. And it was just like, doesn't really hit the same. And again, he's just starting. Maybe he's working the kinks out of his catchphrase. Okay, I get it. He's just starting out. So maybe he goes back to the drawing board. I'm not going to sit here. Some of these people are getting like really upset about this. Like really, really mad. It's a catchphrase.
I think it's because there is such an extreme reaction to it at first positively that obviously the people who don't think he's good or think it's corny or cheesy or whatever obviously went way over the top the other way. And that's how you get World War III in Sox Twitter.
Yeah.
But I do. So I asked one of my close friends, a Sox fan. He's like, you know, he follows the team, but maybe not as close this year because obviously they're not that as good. But you know, he's still knowledgeable. He's still informed. And he sent me the thing a couple of days after, and he's like, "Oh man, first time hearing this call," and I'm like, "All right, give me your honest thoughts on the call."
I'm curious.
And he was like, "Great call. Kind of embarrassing when you see it in context or hear it in context." And I was like, "Thank you,"
because I'm rocking with that.
Number one, White Sox Twitter, you have scared. Cubs fans are getting fucking flamed out here anytime they tweet about the Sox, and fine, you guys do that. Right. I was gonna tweet something up. I'm like, I'm staying out of this. I don't want baloney up my ass or something.
Good call.
So, but that's exactly my call.
No one wants baloney up their ass.
But like you said, Zoe, that call, like in a vacuum, in that moment, that call, I thought was like, holy shit, yeah, all right. Like that was it. Yeah. I thought that was a great call. But then when you do start to like kind of look at it, you're like, all right. So that was like a walk out, great stuff. Like number one, I was like, wait, who are the haters that he's talking about? And I think there was like an article or something, and it's like, well, he was talking about like the outside people.
I'm gonna get to that.
And I was like, okay, fine. So he's not. It's not like if you thought it's like White Sox fans, because obviously, who's the hardest critic of the White Sox? It's White Sox fans.
White Sox
fans. Rightfully so. They're the ones. They're the ones being directly affected.
No one hates the White Sox more than White Sox.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, so he's talking about like the outside people, outside criticism. Okay, fine. But then you're like, okay, but then the White Sox had 8 shutouts in 22 games. Like these people weren't making stuff up. Like this was kind of rightfully critical of the White Sox. What do you mean, John? And then I had another friend being like, well, hey, he's a new guy, but at least he's entertaining and he's becoming one hell of a homer. And I'm like, hey, he's taking the Hawk route. Like the Hawk would be screaming off his seat if the Sox were still terrible, but then they had a huge walk-off win. And it's like in a vacuum, great call. You zoom out a little, John,
Yeah.
yeah, there are haters. This team sucks. Like, what are you talking about?
And so a couple things there. One, I already mentioned he has a hard job because of the shoes he had to fill. But two, not only is this his first year, but the team he's calling for is historically bad.
Yeah.
So he has this very tall task of not only introducing himself into a kind of hardened fan base, but he also has to do it in the midst of this dog shit throwaway season. That's not easy, man. And so he's trying so hard to be enthusiastic. He's getting up, and I appreciate that. I actually do. Because if I turn this miserable game on already and I hear him and Steve Stone, crying like everyone else does, myself included, I don't want to watch that shit. Now,
I was gonna. Well, go ahead.
I think he just needs to tweak the catchphrase though. I think he just needs to the South Side stand up is okay in emotional moments, but for
but I think was the bigger
5-4
thing that people.
win.
But was
It
the
was
bigger
the
thing that was bothering people was the for all you haters?
So this is my take on that part. I hate that shit because there's nothing. One of the things that people outside of the White Sox fan bubble say about White Sox fans is we have an what he's called it,
Inferiority
inferiority complex or whatever, where we think we have little brother syndrome. I'm not saying we do. I'm just saying this is what outsiders' perspective is of us. And so when you start creating your own narratives of you against the world, it even makes you look kind of more, I don't know. It's not tough. Let's put it that way. It's just not for all you haters.
It sounds cheesy. It sounds forced.
But I get what he's doing though. I really do. And I actually I like John. I think he could be really good. And I want to make that very clear. This is in no way, shape, or form me taking the route that some have taken to just shit all over this guy. I think he has a very, very, I don't think people understand how hard his job is right now.
I think it goes back. It's all in the context, man. Because let's say that that's a walk-off win, right? Let's say
fuck me over.
Let's say if that was because it was against the Rays. So let's say it was against Cleveland. Let's say it was against Cleveland, and that win got the White Sox in first place somehow in April, right? And what were the expectations heading into the season? White Sox are going to be dead last in the Central. They're going to be one of the worst teams in baseball. But holy shit, a month into the season, they're somehow in first place. Okay, John, you let it go. Tell the haters.
Dude.
Okay, they're
rip it.
But dude, this is the worst team in baseball. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
That was the one part where I do kind of I did side on the people who were critical of that. It's come on, man.
But that's a great point. You know what I mean? It's just people need to kind of take a step back, and dude, I saw Shane from 670 Score, the producer dude. He was in the stands on Tuesday night wearing a shirt. It was all black and it just said the word hater on it. And I mean me and Herb are boys, and Herb said something critical, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying he's right or wrong or the other. But John quote tweeted him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just John, don't do that. Don't, because that's just pouring gasoline on this shit on Twitter. And he's not in a business where any views are good views. You know what I mean? It's just it ain't the same, man. And again, to be extremely clear here, I am rooting for John Sheriffin. I think he has the potential to be good. I think the catchphrase needs to be tweaked. I love his enthusiasm. I love how he gets fired up for every home run because he does watch it like a fan. He's gotten better too. I said it 2 weeks ago where he needs to chill out on routine fly balls. Not everything's going out of the park. He's gotten better at that. He really has. I don't know. He's good with Steve. I know Steve can be somewhat kind of tough to go off of sometimes, but him and Steve seem to be clicking. You could tell he has the respect for Steve. He calls him the legend Steve Stone at the beginning of every broadcast. And I mean, that's great. And I really think he could be good. I really do. It's just, I don't know. When you take a step back and hear that catchphrase, it's just, oh, hell yeah, Cubs. Just right place, just wrong time right now, John. Like, read the room, John.
The Cubs just lose?
No, the Cubs just won. I
Oh,
told you.
double play?
Yeah, I told you I took a money line.
Oh, Alonso throwing it at home. I
Yeah,
love it.
dude.
I was off my phone because my internet started to be shitty, and I was just following along the game cast on ESPN. Woo! Cubs winning, baby. The Cubs had like the worst bullpen, but they just keep fucking winning.
Don't you dare. Because you want to talk about fucking bullpens, we could talk about this goddamn Twin series.
Okay, let me start. The Cubs have
let's
the
finish
worst
up on
bullpen out
John.
of teams that keep winning.
Yeah, the Cubs bullpen have the worst bullpen out of teams that are actually contending.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fine.
Their closer, Hector Neris. Cubs are on their second closer because their first one keeps giving up home runs. Edward Alzolay. Hector Neris, he just walks guys, hits guys, gives up doubles, but he's perfect in save situations this year.
Wait,
good. I'll take.
Where is that stat that I sent you guys earlier? This is a perfect microcosm of the White Sox. Here we go. The White Sox are 6-0-1 in the first 5 innings of their last 7 games. I'm gonna say that again.
What?
The White Sox are 6-0 with 1 tie. If all these games, if their last 7 games ended after 5 innings.
Hell
so
yeah.
What does that tell you? That tells you that the bullpen fucking sucks.
Let's bring back the 7-inning double headers. Let's get some rainouts in here, shorten the game.
They cannot close games. They're playing Minnesota, rival who's on the biggest heater the team has literally ever been on. Like, the Twins are setting records.
Oh no! So are they going to overturn this call?
No, are you serious? I'm not. I already turned it off.
No. Wait, I'm not watching. Somebody tell me what's going on.
Someone help throw this man a fucking bone, dude.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. All right, you keep talking. I'm going to watch this play because I think it might be overturned.
So the first game against the Twins, the White Sox jump out to a 2-0 lead. Twins tie it in the second. Twins win 3-2 because they score in the top of the 9th off of Bribia. Okay, so that's one. The next day, the White Sox jump out to a 2-run lead. They tie it. The White Sox score 2. So now they're up 4-2. They get one more back, 4-3. White Sox or Minnesota scores 2 more in the 8th, 1 more in the 9th. Sox score 1 in the 8th. The Sox lose 6-5. Kopech takes the L. Okay. And then finally we have the day game on Wednesday where the wheels just came off. The Sox were up 3-1, 4-2. Then it was tied, and then they gave up 4 runs in the fucking 9th. Now, is all this on the bullpen? No. Defensive specialist Paul DeJong with bases loaded, 5-hole the ball. Not really 5-hole. He said it had a lot of spin on it or whatever, but you got to make that play, dude. You literally were here for defense. You're here for defense. And that was a 2-run mistake. And granted, that mistake doesn't happen unless there was a bunch of walks. They recalled it. Is it tied?
Oh, wait, no, it stands. Runner, yes. Never a doubt. I heard the umpire say something about blocking, but I think he was saying what the Mets challenged for. And I thought he said the call is overturned because of blocking. I'm like, that's why I was freaking out. Woo!
Not a Cubs fan, but I love money.
I
love money.
Oh my God.
But yeah, man, it's just the bullpen, and now they have this thing where they're basically just rotating people back and forth from Charlotte on a daily basis.
I want to get your call on this. Why are they keeping the bum veterans?
I don't know. I don't know why. Brad Keller, fuck Brad Keller. Like,
Oh, no.
you know what I mean?
No, I'm not even talking about that. He's going to be in the starting rotation.
I know.
So I'm talking about
Well, I don't know
like
if Flexen
Dominic
might have saved his
Leone.
ass. Yeah, Flexen might have saved his ass. Dominic Leone sucks.
Like he's still
Dominic
on.
Leone needs to be gone. Who else sucks? There's a lot of people that suck right now on this team. Brian Shaw. Well, he's already gone. Justin Anderson sucks. Debbie Garcia sucks. Dominic Leone sucks.
Well, David Garcia's gone too, I think.
Yeah, they just released him. But bring some kids up, man. I mean, I know Nashini and Cannon both had rough second and third starts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning curve.
Like that's the thing for the rotation. I can kind of get the rotation because, like, okay, you at least know, or it's not that you know. It's you don't really care if these guys get like just pitched through the ground, right? Because
Right.
It's Brad Keller. Okay, please go out and pitch 5-6 innings, please. We don't really care if you give up through 4 or 5 runs. You don't want to be wasting some of the younger guys right now. You know, you want to keep them on that minor league schedule. They're pitching like 1 time a week. I know it sucks, but hey, that's what baseball is now. Sorry.
Right.
But the bullpen guys, it's like, all right, what, like Brian Shaw? Why did you start the season with him? Like David Garcia, kind of a younger guy, gave him a shot. He was bad. Okay, next up. But then, like, why is Dominic Leone still on the team? Like,
Flexen had a good start on Wednesday.
Yeah, he was solid.
He was fine. He went 5 scoreless, and then he handed over the bullpen, and he left the game. He would have took that W.
Yeah, I mean, and then Clevenger's going to come back next week.
Oh, fuck.
So that's another rotation spot.
It's good because we need more shit to argue about on White Sox Twitter.
Oh, okay. Good news or positive news. Go watch White Sox fans and Cubs fans because maybe he's a trade target in the summer. Mitch was breaking down Eric Fetty. This dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Getz. A lot of shit lately, but good job. Good job on that one. Take credit for it because this looks like a steal.
So it's funny because it does. And I wanted to mention this. So I think it was Aloha Mr. Hand said it yesterday in the stands that Flexen's going to start pitching better because if he doesn't, he's going to be stuck on this team.
That's the greatest motivator.
Such a good way to look at it too, because it's true. Like I can tell you right now, Eric Fetty's getting dealt. Fetty's getting dealt. I mean, you could write that in a Sharpie right now. He's getting dealt.
If he gets 2 more months of this where he's just like great pitcher, he has a cheap second year option or a cheap second year. That should bring you more value. Yep. So yeah, he's definitely getting.
Oh yeah, Fetty's getting dealt, man. I mean, Fetty has been. He's 2-0 with a 2.60 ERA, 39 strikeouts with a 107 HIP. But I mean, Minnesota's arguably the hottest team in baseball right now.
10 wins in a row.
He won 6.
7 against.
And he went 6 strong. Only gave up 1 earned run and had 11 strikeouts with them. And then he comes up against Tampa Bay on Sunday. He goes 8 1/3, gives up 7 hits, only 2 runs, and strikes out 9.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but I just saw the Pete Alonso play that ended the game. I didn't realize he was that slow, man.
He hits the ball far. Yeah, he hits the ball far, so he doesn't have to run fast.
Like I've only seen the relay thrown out on MLB The Show, like when the outfielder throws it to the infielder and then throws it home.
Hold on, I want to see this now.
I think the Cubs tweeted it out. Or Marquee Sports out.
Oh, someone had a hot mic.
Though. Holy shit! Why is he so slow?
Someone had a hot mic. Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen so everyone can hear this because this is funny. Hold on a second here, folks. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I'm gonna share this all though because we can all hear it together. I keep seeing this getting shared, and people are saying that the mic's still on.
Oh, no sound, no sound.
Oh. When
It's
I
like
share the
in
screen.
Windows settings or something.
Oh, it's window. Okay. There we go.
Oh no, still nothing.
They cut the mic after 2 bullshits. That's all. All right. I thought it was gonna be something way worse than that because people were like, hot mic, hot mic. I mean, the guy said bullshit.
Well, we're coming up on the anniversary of the
Asses in the
Barry
jackpot?
Collins. Yeah, that's coming up in like
Love
3
that.
weeks.
That was one of the best ones ever.
But yeah, Pete Alonso's slow. White Sox bullpen though, or pitching. I mean, yeah, Steve Stone said it with playing the. We were talking about Fetty, but in his start against the Twins. But it's like, yeah, good teams, they keep winning. Good teams find ways to win 7, 8, 9 innings, and he's like, and bad teams give him away. Steve Stone,
Yeah,
a hater, talking shit about the Sox.
No, because it's Steve Stone realist. And then the fucking moron Pedro. I'm over Pedro Grafal, by the way. I am very done with Pedro Grafal. So everyone knows the infamous Pedro Grafal.
We're gonna kick your ass every day.
We're gonna kick everyone's asses. We're gonna prepare to kick everyone's asses every day. So after they gave today or Wednesday's game away, he's quoted saying, you know, we need to fix all these little things because if we don't, we're gonna keep getting our asses kicked every night.
That is one of the things.
We've come full circle.
That is, I mean, I know it's all funny games and like at the end, it doesn't really matter. But like when Craig Counsell was hired, and like the Cubs share some like behind the scenes videos and like the in spring training, like the speech. But like there's never been anything like he's just so kind of like just chill where he doesn't like go over the top. Like he doesn't do the catchphrases, he doesn't do the funny lines all the time. And I'm kind of glad with that because like so far he hasn't said anything that's like gonna come back and be used against him so far.
No,
but Pedro day fucking one. It's like, dude, how about you manage for a month before you start telling people you're gonna kick people's asses, and then you're like fireable in 3 weeks.
And then like he did that, and he was like, "Fuck yeah."
No, he was at dinner. He's like, hey, wife, I don't know her name.
And we all ate it up. I mean, we all wanted him to be good. Everybody's like making, quote pictures and all that other stuff about it and blah, blah, blah. But
he's bad, man. He's bad.
He's bad. He's just not a good manager.
I've turned seeing White Sox fans talk about and like I think we talked about it like after the second week of the season. We're like, well, I mean, how like is it really his fault? But it's like, man, he's obviously not making things better. He's making them worse. Things are the whole thing this offseason was the team's going to get better fundamentally. We're going to do the little things right, and guess what? Those little things are equally worse or a lot worse than they were last year. So what are you doing, Pedro?
It's a lot worse, and part of this is I know he helped Getz like go out and get like a Paul DeJong. Like he's like, yeah, that's my guy. I want to play. We're gonna play sound defense. Their defense sucks, dude.
Their defense is not. Yeah, it's not good.
It's a comedy of errors almost daily, and it's just brutal. I'm watching this end of the Cubs game. If I didn't have money on the Cubs, I would have said he blocked the shit out of that plate. But
this all goes. Just saw a guy tweet it, but this is one of those whatever the initial call is, like it's too close to overturn. So it's just like it stands. So it's like, okay, we couldn't find 100% evidence to overturn, but yeah, Cubs might get a break.
And then the other thing too that came out of Pedro's worse than Robert Ventura. The other thing too, the Rays series was cruel, man. It was just mean.
The Rays are bad.
The Rays are bad. Oh no, don't get me wrong. The Rays are bad.
I'm just saying for any Sox fans who did have like it's like hope. It's like, wait, we just swept the fucking Rays. Okay,
they're 14 and 18. Like calm down, everyone. But it was just kind of mean, dude, because they win 3 in a row, dramatic fashion, and it's like, okay, like, is this? They win 9-4 and then 8-7 with the walkout, and then 4-2, and it's like, oh shit, we're playing clean games, like no errors, like we're hitting. Are we turning this around? Tommy Pham comes in, and he's a fucking, like you said, there's not a better way to describe Tommy Pham than professional hitter. Are we doing something now? Are we actually going to maybe win a couple games? Nah.
Go on a little win streak?
Nah. I will say, and we'll do this with Fizz next week, there is a noticeable change in Andrew Benintendi's swing.
Ooh.
Like he fixed something. Steve Stone talked about it a little bit over the weekend, or I don't know, all these games are blending together already, but he talked about it a little bit not too long ago. He made an adjustment where there's more pop in the swing.
Okay. That's good because he's
it's good. You can see you can almost see.
What's he getting? More launch angle? What's he doing?
I don't know what he's doing differently. That's why I can't really pinpoint it yet, but he's doing something different, and it's pretty noticeable. And you also see when he's at the plate, he doesn't have that look of utter defeat on his face anymore. He did the first 20 games of the year, he walked up to plate looking like that kid on the Little League team that wanted to be anywhere else but the batter's box.
Yeah.
He looked just like he didn't want nothing to do about any of it. So that's good to see. It seems like Andrew Vaughn's starting to get some more timely hits. I mean, that's a big hole to crawl out of for Andrew, though. Big hole to crawl out of. The Tommy Pham stuff, still don't. I mean, I get that Dominic Fletcher wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire. I think they could have maybe held on to that a little bit longer, but okay. I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up yet. That might be telling.
Who?
Dominic Fletcher.
Oh, no, he just got optioned.
Oh, okay. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, no,
so he's in AAA?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they straight up flat out released him.
No.
All right. Well, then that's not too bad. I feel like there's still something there. But it's rough right now, man. It really is to get up for this shit, to like watch every game, which I know people that are listening to this, myself included, we're still going to watch every game one way or the other. I'm still going to check my phone. You know what I mean?
Quickly back to Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it's kind of like when a relief pitcher, like, you know, sometimes a closer or a guy you expect to be good, he has like a couple bad outings early in the season, and his ERA is, you know, like 10 after like 5 innings or something, and then even after a month, you know, the ERA is still like 5.5, and it's just because, like, you know, those guys just don't get a lot of innings, even if they are good for a long stretch of time. 1 or 2 outings is going to kill you. And if Andrew Vaughn, he had a bad month, right? So it's going to take him a while, but at least, I mean, I think Mitch mentioned it. I think he had another hit, maybe, or maybe not, I don't know, on Wednesday.
No,
but
and
he's starting to hit again, and that's the thing. It's like, hey, if you want to be negative, be negative. If you think Andrew Vaughn's always going to suck, and like, chances are you're probably right, because he hasn't. It's not like he's been tearing it apart the previous years, but you got to start from somewhere. You would rather him start hitting than just keep sucking. So it
started on Monday, April 22nd, the first game of the first series against the Twins when we were in Minnesota. He went 1 for 4. Then the next game he went 1 for 3, then 0 for 4, then 2 for 5, then 0 for 3, then 1 for 5, 2 for 4, 2 for 5. He's hitting. But to me, those are numbers on paper, which great, whatever. It's more what kind of hits he's getting. He's finding gaps. He's hitting line drives. These aren't little bloop singles. You know what I mean? Like, solid contact, the kind of the hitter you want him to be. And you talk about a complete 180. White Sox Twitter is completely – everybody's rooting for this guy now. I mean, from what I see. People want him to be good. There's like a little corner of White Sox Twitter that are calling him Andre.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that, because I saw that a few weeks ago, and I couldn't really find the origin of that. What's going on? Why is he Andre?
Beef loaf.
Well, okay, but what is it just to give some swag? Because he sucked as Andrew?
I don't know what the whole story is, but it's just the whole don't let Andre get hot. And
All
yeah.
right.
But I love
Why
it
they
though,
calling
man.
Andrew on Andre?
Because he's a guy that almost kind of the opposite. And it's the case in point that you made about earlier when we were talking about Eloy. Andrew's the type of guy you look at and you're like, dude, you gotta stop pressing so much. You know, like he'd pop one off the top of the bat and you just see it in his face where he's just like, God damn it. Like, come on. What am I doing wrong? I just can't figure it. So it's, oh, gotcha. Drop the W until you earn it. He's Andre.
Okay.
Thank you, very handsome Sham Reeves, for clearing that up for us. Yeah, man. The thing too, the farm system is buzzing, dude. The White Sox, the farm is doing really well right now. But the problem is, out of the people doing well, 85% of them are pitchers. Not a lot of bats are emerging out of the farm right now. I mean, and the guys that are playing well they're down, like high A, double.
I think it's double A, right? Double A is just looks like the best farm team.
Birmingham is Project Birmingham is finally working.
Well, you're the catcher they guys from the Angels. He's been doing great.
A lot of the guys that they traded for are doing really well.
Thorpe
is doing really well. The other guy from the Padres that they got in that trade.
Zavala?
No, the pitcher.
Oh, Idiarte?
Yeah, Idiarte. He's doing really well. Idiarte. Edgar Claro, he's 274, 353, 521 with the 874 OPS.
Oh, that's
He's
good.
got five home runs. Tim Elko, everybody's favorite big boy, 247, 275, 390, 665 OPS with only 2 home runs. You want that number to be higher. You want that number to be higher. Where is this guy? What team is he on? I'm trying to think. I think he might be high A. I love that.
One?
I need to get his name. I can't think of it. There's some dude that no one's ever talked about. Like, he's not on the prospect list. He's not like a top guy. He's not anything. And then all of a sudden, like, he is just like, he's having a year.
Off to Fangraphs we go.
Yeah, I gotta find this kid. Hold on a
minute. Let's see.
This is gonna drive me crazy.
Are you at all? Okay. Well, let's stay positive here for a second, and then I'll ask you a question.
Oh, not him.
Something else. Also,
it's not Wes Cath, but he's doing pretty well down there in Winston-Salem. 242, 347, 484 with an 831 OPS. He's got 4 homers. How's my boy Schultz doing?
Oh, he had a couple bad starts.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Brooks Baldwin?
Maybe.
He has a 212 WRC plus. He's batting 408. He has a 464 on base, 560.
Where's he at?
Slug. He's at double A. He's 23 though.
Bring him up then. Fuck it. Catch lightning in a bottle. I wish it was Michael Jordan, Sam. That would have been entertaining.
Let's see. Brooks Baldwin, he is a third baseman shortstop.
We got plenty of room for those.
Oh, okay, that brings me to a question. How far into the season do you start, not worried, but you're like, wish he was better right now? Closer Montgomery.
I just count on you for you telling me how bad he is.
I have to balance out Kevin.
I don't even look, but I do want to say before I look, Noah Schultz, he is carrying a 4.50 ERA, but he's got 27 strikeouts, a .94 clip, and people are only hitting 179 against him. It's not like he's blowing up.
Yeah, I think it was only his last 2 starts he gave up maybe a couple runs each.
Fids' boy, Tanner McDougal, he was cruising too, but his last start he got touched up. But he's carrying a 5.21 ERA, but in 19 innings pitch, he's got 24 strikeouts, a 1.26 clip, and people are only hitting 229 against them. Like, there's some pitching going on down in the farm.
Pitching's been good.
The pitching's been good, but let me hear.
All right, Colson Montgomery. I have his
Yeah.
slash line here. He's at AAA, 22. So he's I think he's facing competition at least a couple years younger, or older than him.
Yep.
He's slashing 211, 324, 358. He has an 81 WRC plus. He has a good walk rate, 11.6%, but he's striking out almost 34% of the time.
Don't love that.
So that's the. I don't know if that's like a when we were talking with Ian a couple weeks ago, and I was asking him, is this like a Yohan Moncada thing where he's
Right.
just getting all the 50-50 calls against him? And I think they have the automated system in AAA where it's the whatever the automatic system that they use is calling balls and strikes.
Oh, that's right. They're robots down there.
Yeah. So he's like, obviously that's not going to be how it is when he gets to the show, but
Right.
is it swing and miss, or is it a lot of close pitches that he's taking? But he's not hitting to 211 at AAA, and we know guys rip it up at AAA.
Well, I got him at 214, so I don't know which one.
Maybe this one isn't updated. All right.
I'm on the Knights website, so I don't know, but it's still not great. I mean, 687 OPS is it's the 39 strikeouts that jump off the page at me.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
3 stolen bases, 5 doubles, 3 homers, so a little pop going on in there. But I have heard good things about
the defense,
the glove.
Okay,
the glove is improved. One of the guys, since we're in Charlotte, we talk about Carlos Perez. Let's talk about Carlos Perez.
The catcher, another catcher?
No, he's been playing first for them all season. And he's slashing 278, 356, 444, and 800 OPS. He's got 2 homers, 9 doubles, 11 RBIs, 10 walks to 11 strikeouts. So he's 1-1 there. But lately, man, on Ian's feed, it's
Carlos Perez show?
Carlos Perez show, dude. Him, Chucky Robinson. What's
up? Our guy.
309, 347, 500 slugging, 847 OPS.
Tell him, Chucky.
Give me some Chucky Robinson.
See, that's what I want. That's what I want John Schriffen. When Chucky Robinson hits his first home run, I want him to break out the "For All the Haters" call. Oh, bring it out for Chucky.
I don't think he'll need to. If you listen real close, you'll hear Mitch screaming at the top of his lungs.
How old is Carlos Perez now?
Carlos Perez is 27.
Yeah,
we're in do or die here for Carlos. Who else is down there? You remember Brett Phillips?
Yes. I thought he was going to make the team.
Not great. He's batting 120 with 228, 280 with a 508 OPS. 50 at bats. He's got 27 strikeouts.
I guess there's a reason that he's not a minor league deal with the Sox.
At least he's a good clubhouse guy. Who else we got down here? Oh, St. Rita's own, not doing great. Mark Payton. Ish, 0.088, 162, 0.088 with a 250 OPS. 34 at bats. He's not even playing, dude.
I think we talked about it, after the Cease trade, and I know they got the younger guy, that the outfielder Zavala, who's at high, I think. But
and he's playing well, by the way.
Yeah, but I think being in the Sox chat with you guys, the conversation all season was man, you obviously want to get, you're going to trade Cease. You want to get a good, at least one closer MLB ready hitting prospect. Because, like you said, there's just not a lot.
Maybe that's what they deal Fetty for. Maybe that's what you go after with Fetty. Because there's one other kid this is the kid that I was thinking about. The kid that you talked about he's good, but this kid, Winton Bernard.
Oh, love the name.
Winton, Winton, Winton Bernard, left fielder, 45 at bats down there. He's got 2 doubles, a homer. He's slashing 289, 304, 400, and 704. He's aggressive. 11 strikeouts to one walk. 3 stolen bases, but I'm just saying,
Oh
like, kids
no,
like
dude.
that.
Okay, dude, he's 33. No,
Good.
man.
I'm not age discriminating here. Look at Winton, man. Winton's busted his ass. He's earned a shot on this shitty team. He's earned it. God damn, Winton. I didn't know you were 33.
As a guy, like it pains me that I just said that because I'm going to turn 33 this year, and I'm just like
Shit.
old.
Has he ever gotten to the show? No. Oh, this is heartbreaking.
No, yeah.
Why not then? Why?
No,
you're-
yeah,
you're
bro. Okay,
dog
that
shit.
would make a good story.
You're 6 losses or 6 wins in, dude, into May. Just give my guy a cup of coffee. I am now a Winton Bernard guy. Bring
Him and
this.
Chucky.
Oh,
Get him in the show.
bro, he started in the rookie ball in 2012.
Hey, grinding.
I mean, this is the definition of grinding.
Yeah, 12 years
He never
trying
got
to
a
get
cup
to
of
the
coffee,
show. That's
dude.
what. Yeah.
I mean, this is like a Disney movie.
But we need to save this for September. We can't have Bernard. No offense to Bernard, but we can't have Bernard talk on May 1.
Oh, Bernard, you're 33, dude. God bless America. How do you do that for 14 years?
Has he been in the minor leagues the entire time?
For
Or did he
14
spend any
years.
time overseas or somewhere else?
No, he was I believe he's in the minor leagues for 14 years, dude.
Well, let's see. Bernard went
Bring dude up.
because like that's hard to do because normally guys are like, "Fuck it, I'm going to Japan or something."
Right. I mean,
Like, I'm not gonna be fucking riding the bus in
How can you live off that?
nowhere south, like Alabama. Let's see. Bernard or Winton Bernard. Minor league career. Let's see. 2012, like you said. Yep, still in the minors in 13, still 14, 15. Still in the minors in 17, 18, 19. Yeah, no, he's just stuck it out. This guy must be the best
Guy makes
teammate to be around still.
He makes like $8,000 a year, dude. Like, how does he?
Like, they got a little pay raise a few years ago with the new CBA.
I mean, does he get like?
I mean, it's
Social
not a
Security or
lot.
something? That's
That's
tough.
commitment. No, that's like you said. It's a Disney story here. It's a Disney.
I mean, that is for the love of the game, right there, man. Give the guy a cup of coffee. Just come on now. Give the guy a cup of coffee. What are you gonna lose? Ooh, the fuck. I'm rooting for this guy now. I'm a fan of him now.
I mean, he has a great name to do his slogan, like "Win Now" with Bernard Winton.
Let's go.
Bernard.
If they call him up, I'm going to that game.
Win. You gotta buy his jersey.
They don't make his shirts.
Do a custom. Can you make custom jerseys?
I'm sure you can. I just way too lazy for that. How's Samuel Zavala doing down in Winston-Salem? 207, 277, 337, 614 OPS. Great.
Sounds like a slump because I thought he was off.
I thought it was a lot better. How about high draft pick Jacob Gonzalez with his new batting stance? Oh, not terrible. 250, 357, 357, 714 OPS.
What's he at? AA or high A?
High A. 13,
he's a college
11,
guy, right?
Yeah, they got him from Ole Miss.
I need to see
Only
better
one
for a
homer.
college bat.
11K. Yeah, this is not a great draft pick. And then it's all pitchers. Pitchers. They got arms. You can put arms in trade packages. I mean,
we say it every hey man. You need to have pitching, and then you need to have more pitching, and then after that, you need to still have more pitching if you want to win.
who is Brooks Baldwin though? Where did this man come from?
Right? No, that's the guy. He's insane right now. Did you see his numbers?
Yeah, 12th round pick in 2022. His ETA to the show is next year. Okay. He was named Colonial Athletic Association Player of the Year at UNC Wilmington in 2022, 36 years after his father won it. We're talking about the farm because everything else sucks.
Talking about Brooks Baldwin?
Oh, Mitch, we have a new guy we're a fan of, by the way.
Well, Zoe.
No, Mitch will be with me. I know Mitch will be with me. But hold on.
Let's see.
First of all, Brooks Baldwin down in Birmingham, 425, 483, 577 with a 1.058 OPS. And this isn't like the guy's only like had 10 at bats. He's had 80 at bats. Like, why isn't this kid in Charlotte? Or fuck it, why is he play him over to Young right now? He plays third, short, and outfield. I am 1,000,000% in why not mode. Hold on, what was my guy's name in Charlotte?
Oh, come on. You can't be saying it's your guy and forget his name.
Yeah,
It's not like his name.
Winston Bernard.
Yeah, Winston
Bernard. Robinson already? Oh, Winston
No,
Bernard's
no,
actually.
we're still.
Oh, Mitch is on board. You were right, so.
Well,
See,
we
I told
talked.
you.
Actually, didn't they sign him this offseason? I don't. Isn't he just a free agent that we signed this offseason? If I remember.
Yeah, because Mitch, this guy's 33. He's been in the minor league since 2012.
Yeah.
He's
Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about. I remember writing about this guy. I thought it was going to be like a prospect. I was like, no, wait, that's I mean, if we want another veteran to block from people's playing time, then I'm all for it.
Hey, he's hitting 289 in Charlotte. He's got a 704 OPS. Like, just give Winston a cup of coffee, man. Just give him a cup of coffee.
I agree. Like, he deserves a shot. You know, been in the league that long, crappy team, but that should come in September.
Thank you, Mitch. I was
goal.
like, Zo, come on. This is a September conversation, not a May one.
No.
Mitch, are you concerned at all that we keep reading off these names of White Sox minor leaguers, and there's just not a lot of promising young hitters right now, except for maybe Cuero and nobody else?
Very, very concerned. They have a lot of
Ramos
pitching depth,
sucks.
but like positionally, it is very thin. And a lot of the depth they have down there, I think that Jared Walsh signing was just because they didn't have enough depth. Like, they have Oscar Colas playing first base right now down there. Jeez. So, like, I think that's why they added him. I mean, you probably, send down Paul DeYoung, like you said. We can get him down there to get some reps.
I mean, you can literally argue send anyone down right now. I mean, there's no one on this team right now that you're like, yeah, he should be here. That guy's awesome.
But not Pham VP.
Well, Pham, Sheets.
Pham's been good.
Print the shirt.
What Pham's done right now, like, he's made this team a lot more watchable. Like, this is the product that I thought we were going to be getting for most of the year, minus the good defense. I thought the defense would be better. But at least they are fun bad. They're scoring runs. They are taking extra bases. They're being aggressive. And they're losing close games. So at least this is a digestible product. And the errors are going to happen. Like, if there's an error here and there, the biggest one is like mental mistakes. Like Paul DeYoung's error today, I can live with that. Obviously not ideal, but like you can live. What I can live with is like the Lenine Sosa, where he's like throwing home when he has the guy in like the rundown type of mistakes. Like, errors are going to happen. They're human, but at least they're trying and they're scoring runs and it looks competitive. So if you're going to lose a game, at least make it a watchable game. Like, these last two losses, it sucked that they lost, but they were in both those games.
Who's the first ACL that gets torn by Gavin Sheets? Because he's playing right field. There was almost a collision Wednesday's game.
Yep.
With the second baseman. We were talking about it earlier, Mitch. Like, why the hell is he? Why is it 2024 and Gavin Sheets?
Yeah, Nicky Lopez got the day off.
Yeah. And gets all of a sudden now, like, his credibility, which is already in question, like that whole improve the defense for free agent pitchers bullshit, that's out the window because the corner outfield, you got two terrible defenders. Now, I will say with Benintendi's recent hot stretch, it kind of dispels the notion he wasn't trying. It just confirms that he's a really shitty outfielder, which may or may not be worse. It's tough though, like, because like, what are you supposed to do if you're like Pedro? Like, Sheets is your best hitter. Eloy, obviously, you trying to play him as much as possible because he's like on paper talented, but you can't play him in the outfield. Like, where are you supposed to play these guys?
It's tough.
That's why, like, as much as I like Pham, it like the signing just kind of like mucks up the rest of the lineup where you can't really get something like Fletcher should be up right now. He's 6 years old. AAA isn't doing him shit. Find out if he's your guy moving forward or not. I mean, we can't have all these question marks. I'm in the same boat with Sosa. Like, I know he's probably a quad A player. Give him the rest of the season to find out. Although I will say I do like the way Nicky Lopez is playing. I do think he could be a nice off the bench guy on a contending team His defense has been really good. He's starting to hit a little better. So I do like Lopez at second.
I do think Tommy
Nicky
Pham
Lopez is a Larry Garcia on a good team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's what he was with the Braves though last year.
Yeah.
Tommy Pham, I do think was more of a like we know you're good. Like you obviously you get like traded every deadline. Where you're gonna play like every day because Luis Robert Jr. is still injured. And like once Luis Robert Jr. is back,
That
they
signing
find a trade partner.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That signing screamed to me because like Pilar was talking about it too after he got DFA'd. Where like it was hard to get out of a slump because everyone on the lineup was in a slump. So you like look to your left and right and like no one can really help you. So I feel like that was a signing because Getz was panicking. He doesn't want the worst record. They need a spark on offense, and that'll give him that spark to the deadline. Now, I don't think you get that much for him at the deadline, even with the way he is playing. Because a one-year deal, you're going to get some low-level prospect back.
Just
anyway.
a lottery pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Lottery bowl.
Well, it's all right. We'll get a big return for Fetty.
I really don't want him to trade. It's the smart thing to do. It is the right decision to trade him while his value is high. But I really don't want. I really don't want him to.
Mitch, I'll do a portable AC unit that they trade Eric Fetty.
I agree with you. I think they will, and I think it's a smart decision. Just selfishly, I don't want to because like when they do,
it's been a lot of fun watching him pitch. It really has. I mean, the guy
he's efficient. He works fast. The strikeouts there, it's nice.
He was not kidding when he said he went overseas and learned how to put movement on a pitch. Because that boy makes that ball dance.
Because I bet you were talking about his work in Arizona. It's like, like these guys, like if you want to figure it out, there are tools out there. And like, hey, maybe you're not always going to have the talent or the skill set, but like you can put the effort. And Eric Fetty, shout out to that guy because he's gonna, he's gonna end up on a competing team at some time.
No, I should mention,
Mitch, you're bringing in the big bucks.
That.
Drew, thank you for the super chat. He said, great video breakdown today, Mitch.
Yeah, on YouTube, you can watch it from the Pinwheels pregame show, kind of broke down his new pitch arsenal. Now, I will say on top of that, and I didn't mention this morning, it's not that these just like two pitches like magically fixed him. He always had talent. Like he was a first-round pick, top 100 prospect. It's not like he was some scrub that like learned how to grip a sweeper and then all of a sudden now he looks like an ace. Like he always did have the talent. It was just a matter of kind of putting it all together.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's actually like fun when you see he's the guy in the mound. You're like, oh, I'm gonna watch this game and maybe not.
Lance Lynn on Saturday is gonna be. I'm pissed because it's in St. Louis and I really want to go to that game and I have a conflict and I can't. But that is gonna be, I think, a phenomenal matchup between Lynn and Fetty.
Who's home run? Who are you betting home runs on the Sox against Lance Lynn?
Ooh. Sheets,
I think could go yard. Yeah. I don't think they score against Sonny Gray, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I know. Sonny Gray's been good.
He's filthy, and I think that'll cool down this offense a bit. So I think they're getting blown out that first game with Brad Keller on the mound. I think they win that second game. I could see who else.
I hate Brad Keller so much. I hate that he's on this team so much.
Dude, you guys are gonna have Brad Keller and Mike Clevenger in the same rotation.
I hate it. I hate it so much, dude. I mean, if you're gonna be bad, like Mitch said, if you're gonna be bad, be fun bad.
Are you guys at all worried about Garrett Crochet?
No, I feel. I
mean,
mean,
his last outing, he could have went deeper in that game.
But like, isn't it like
pissed off?
Like, his inning is ready to go. Like they're already talking about, like, we're gonna have to slow down his workload.
Well, they are. Yeah. I think this is kind of part of the process. And he still said he feels good. He wanted to keep going. He feels good. So I would rather have that and then like pull the reins back than, oh man, I'm getting tired and struggling. So I'm not worried about him. And it's a learning season. So let him go through some growing pains.
I think you go Danny Mendick again. So if you have Lance Lynn home run, you too, man.
Well, see, you
double down on Mendick against Lynn.
You can't force the mojo. It's just you got to feel it that day. Like literally.
Well, what made you feel it with Mendick the other day?
I don't know, man. I got in the car to drive to the stadium, and before I pulled out of the driveway, I was like, I'm gonna bet Danny Mendick to hit a home run. And I
Plus 800, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Took Twins money line too. But yeah, took Danny Mendick to hit a home run. And yeah, dude.
So you were celebrating that collapse.
No, I wasn't. It's extremely annoying. It's So that's what
Did
I guess
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, although I guess this is what I meant when you wanted to, what we're going to talk about, but I don't think the White Sox are this bad. I don't. Because of that whole, like I said before, they're 6-0-1 if the last 7 games ended in the 5th inning. And I know, if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their asses when they hopped. I get it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, no, like moving forward,
there's something to build off.
As annoying as some of these things are, and it's a loss, is like you want to see the young guys develop. It's like, yeah, you actually have some talent. Tommy Pham obviously is a good hitter. Robbie Grossman, for his faults, he gets on base. He has some slug in him. The rotation,
He
you might
doesn't
hate
slug.
him.
That's the thing, though.
He
That's the
doesn't.
only thing with Grossman. No, like it's a lot of slap hits. He gets on base a lot. He draws a lot of walks, but he does not hit for any power. That's like the only downside. But he gets on base, which you can live with.
So
I can live
he gets
with.
on base.
I like Robbie Grossman in the lineup.
So like in the rotation, like you want to see some of the young guys, but like you get short outings from them. And it's like fuck. Now the rotation gets fucked, or the bullpen gets screwed after that because now they have to fill more innings. And like Clevenger bum. Like, hey, he's gonna go out there. He's gonna pitch, 5, 6, 7 innings. So that should make your team better for at least, the few days after. Keller, I don't know if Keller's gonna be any good. I don't know, probably not. But
terrible.
Pedro's gonna leave him in there for 110 pitches. He's gonna be his Lance Lynn.
It's gonna be that's exactly what I was gonna say. He's gonna be the new Lance Lynn.
Like you don't have to worry about. It's like, oh man, okay, we have Nastrini, but like we don't want him like going 4 1/3 and he has 100 pitches. So it's like, all right, Brad Keller, throw until you can't anymore, buddy.
Fine.
The guy who pisses me off in that bullpen, like the whole bullpen's bad, and that's something we knew heading into the season. Well, 2 things are gonna piss. Once, like you said, they have all this talent. Once they go on like a random hot streak in late July when they're like 40 games under 500, so it doesn't matter, but they're just gonna go on like a 10-game winning streak. That's gonna be annoying. But the other guy I cannot stand, that's only there to eat innings, Dominic Leone. Does that guy ever get every time he comes in? He's the new Jose Ruiz, but at least Jose Ruiz would look like a stud when it's a blowout. High leverage, blowout, doesn't matter. Dom Leone gets in the game, you're giving up runs. You hammer the over every time Leone comes into the game for that inning.
He sucks, dude.
He's so bad.
He's terrible. People are harping on DeYoung for the error, which it was a bad error, but that error doesn't mean shit if 3 guys don't get walked in a row. You know what I mean?
Now, he did come in after that. I think it was Wilson that walked.
No, he came in, got the ground ball, but then his next inning, he walked the first 2 guys, or he walked 2 guys before he was taken.
There you go. Yeah.
Just he's one of those guys that it comes in, it's just like, well, fuck this up. You know what I mean? It's like you have no confidence.
He gets it out. Like you're surprised if he gets it out.
And man, Fetty's been good though. I like what I seen. Flexen had a good bounce back game. Soroka had a pretty good bounce back game. I mean, the starting rotation, which we thought was going to be super big weakness, hasn't looked terrible.
You know what? I was just thinking, like, the White Sox have done it, and we talked about it last week when we were talking about, like, what to do with Ben Brown and the Cubs, and like how they've had other starting pitchers in the bullpen. Like, if you're gonna go the veteran route in the rotation, it's like, okay, fine, but like, all right, at least make your bullpen better. Maybe bring up some of the guys and like have them be 2-3 inning guys out of the bullpen. So maybe they do. Maybe that's part of the plan too. Hopefully, I guess, because again, some of these relievers have no business being on the White Sox right now.
Yep. No. That's why I was so surprised they cut ties with Davy Garcia, because they don't have Garcia's not good.
He was so bad, dude. He was so bad.
Well, he's not. He is bad. He is very bad. But like, it seems like, I don't know. It seems like he has better stuff than like a Dominic Leone. Like
Yeah, no, like I agree with you. It's like you're comparing, okay, let's keep this guy, 25, 26 years old over Dominic Leone. It's like, yeah, what? Why?
Now, I will say Flexen, that signing I wasn't crazy about when they added him. I think he's been pretty solid for what they've asked him to do. He's turned in, like, off the top of my head, at least 3 very good starts, and then he ate a bunch of innings the other day against Tampa and looked really good doing that. So he hasn't been bad. Flexen, I don't mind. He's off the shit list.
Well, they put him in the bullpen, and then they're like, "Yo, we'll give you one more shot." And I think he took advantage of the situation. He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Beggars can't be choosers. Do you have a wish list at the trade deadline that you hope they do, or like you hope they add and or get rid of?
We were kind of talking about it as we were cruising through the farm system. Trade Fetty and get bats, minor league bats. That's all. I mean, we have. The nice thing too is we have an abundance. The White Sox have an abundance of arms right now in the minors that are throwing really well. There's high value there because not a lot of teams can say that. So they can even put together a nice little package of two, high A arms or a double A arm.
No. You don't want to be trading your pitching right now. Your team is still bad. You still need those guys.
You can never have enough pitching.
You need a bat, though. They have no bats in the minor league. They have none.
That's why we got all these old washed-up veterans.
Right. There's no one coming. We're signing Jared Walsh, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle.
Like, that's the thing. Then you're going to be in the same situation where then you're just going to have a whole bunch of you have washed-up veterans pitching right now. You're going to keep that cycle going if you trade all these arms away.
I don't know, man. If you trade Fetty and throw one or two of those arms in it to get a sweeten the pot and get a true, like, stud up and coming, like, I don't think they'll get Jackson Holiday or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Like, if you can get a somewhat established minor league bat that can make the show in 2025 or something like that, that's a big deal.
Right? Yeah, you're not wrong.
You make that deal.
I guess it also depends on it's baseball. Who knows? It's Chris Getz. It's the White Sox. Like what their timeline is, right?
Right.
Because, like, if they're like, well, we know we're not going to be good until, like, 20,
that's the thing.
20.
Then let us know, guys.
Say the time, right.
Say
I think the test for me is going to be what they do, which I don't think they would trade Garrett Crochet, but if they did, that's signifying they think it's going to take longer than 2 years.
Because we were saying earlier, Mitch, I don't think they're picking up Eloy's option.
Oh, definitely not.
No,
for $16.5 million. No.
Most teams wouldn't, the way he has.
No.
Now, I could see maybe you bring him back on a cheaper deal.
Well, it depends on how he
DFA, 1 year, $3 million.
Carlos Rodon, yep. Yeah, because I don't see like a whole lot of teams wanting an injury-prone guy that hasn't lived up to potential, but he has been heating up. Like, as the White Sox have all of a sudden gone on this mini offensive explosion, for lack of a better word, just because we've been shut out so many times this year. A lot of it starts when Eloy a lot of that started when Eloy started hitting. Like, they had that, that was the mop-up duty when they had those 5 runs against the Phillies. But since that game, they've really started to score a lot more runs. Coincidentally, that's when Eloy started hitting. And his line drive percentage is up too. And you don't see him. If you look at his spray chart, he's pulling almost everything. The ones he's not pulling, he's driving up the middle, which is a good sign. When you're that strong, pull the ball.
Yeah, it started looking good in Minnesota when they started there. Like, he was hitting there, and then it's also kind of bullshit. Minnesota comes back, they're picking on us. They went 6 out of their 10-game winning streak against the White Sox. I feel like, and then all of a sudden they come to Chicago and they get their 2 best players back. You get Carlos Correa, can't be taller than 6'2", comes back in that motherfucker. He's smooth as shit at shortstop. And then what's the closer's name that throws 108 miles an hour?
Durant.
Yeah, he comes back. We didn't have to see him because we weren't in that situation, but still. This is
exactly what Rick Hahn
was
hoping
dark
would happen
cloud
with the
over
White
them.
Sox last
By the way,
year, where like they wouldn't have to do a whole lot. Beat up on bad teams in the Central.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, because I think Cleveland is still leading. I think the Twins are still plus money to win the Central. Better on the Twins. I think the
Twins that's probably what's the money. Well, and they got a lot of guys coming back. They were hurt.
If if they're at plus money right now, I think that's a good bet on the Twins to win the Central.
Yeah, they were hurt, and then I'm not gonna lie. I think I've said it for 3 straight years now on this show. I hate seeing Brian Bruxton get hurt.
Every time, dude.
Every fucking time, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, when I was at the game on Tuesday and they threw him out stealing, I was the first one to pop up and just say, "Suck it, Buxton." But
And then he
he's
like
one of those-
slowly walks off.
you want to compete against the best. So I guess it wasn't terrible. It was cool seeing a guy like Carlos Correa play in person. I mean, dude's just good. And
He's
then
good.
He's good.
It's with the sad
He's
thing is
good.
he's a really good fielder too, but with all those injuries, they almost always use him as a deep. Like they hardly ever put him in center field.
Buxton. You're talking about Buxton.
Yeah, Buxton. Yeah.
Yeah, Buxton. Yeah, I was talking about Correa, but yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of. Yeah,
No.
my bad.
No, but it was good to see what a high caliber Major League Baseball player looked like because we haven't seen that a lot this year. As soon as Luis Robert went down, it was like, but good players.
He's not back in July.
Who?
Luis Robert Jr.
Robert?
I saw him
Late May or July. I think
Late
May is when
May,
they said-
July, or late May, June.
June. Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying, just like what we're missing, what the White Sox are missing, like you get a guy like Correa back, and all of a sudden, all the players around him are playing better. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And it's like, it's a trickle effect that the White Sox need, and maybe they'll get it when Robert comes back.
Version with Tommy Pham.
That's the
Yeah.
Timu version.
Yeah.
What are the Mitch? You're talking, or Zoe? You're talking about how like you're seeing like a high caliber player who's just getting like Correa. Francisco Lindor isn't hitting as well as he did in Cleveland. He's still been good with the Mets, but he hasn't been obviously putting up the great numbers that he did with Cleveland. But that dude can still play shortstop at such a high level, and like
he makes hard plays look easy.
Seeing him this week against the Cubs, and like the Cubs, Dansby Swanson's going through his little struggles right now, and he's still a Gold Glove defender there. But even like the difference between those two guys on some plays, it's like holy shit! Like the the release, like ball to glove to hand to throw is the quickest in the league. That's completely that's a Hawk Harrelson stat, but I think it's true because that guy just looks so smooth.
He's got a good arm, dude. And you know me, I'm big on shoe game. Got to respect the all red Jordan 1s. Got to respect the all red Jordan 1s with the white stitching for the logos. Shout out to Corey Lee too, though, wearing the OG Chicago Dunks.
Mitch, there's no way he gets optioned, right? When everyone gets healthy? There's no way,
Corey
right?
Lee?
Yeah, Corey Lee.
Corey Lee's the third best player on this team right now. He's the third best player on this team right now.
Yeah, but they still insist on playing Maldonado over him.
I don't know
and
why.
then Pedro, well, Stassi's a good veteran. He knows how to handle a pitching style. We got to give him a shot. If they do, though, I will, right? Because they had all this bullshit in camp. They're bringing in all these people. How great the competition is in camp. We got a good competitive environment. Well, if it's all about competition, then you have to reward performance. And he has been the best out of all the catchers they have right now. The amount of it, honestly, he is the most improved player on this White Sox roster.
Oh, without a doubt.
His defense is always good, but I think his defense is even better this year. They had that stat. He has the hardest throw to second base than he has, but now he's hitting too. I mean, you can't be I would be pissed. He should be the backup. He's shaping up to be the backup when they're contending behind Hero.
And one of the things that you're really seeing develop with him is his ball blocking abilities. We've seen some key blocks too late in games for him. He's a pretty fast base runner for a catcher. He's starting to add a little pop to his game. Aldo and I were talking about earlier, that ball he hit for a home run on Wednesday, that was a breaking ball coming in hard, low and inside, and he was able to take that out.
It's funny you mentioned the blocking too, because a big reason he got so much better, he was talking about it. During the offseason, he cut a bunch of fat. He's a lot more athletic behind the plate. He's moving around a lot better. If you look photos like him and last year, he does look a lot more cut. And he said it's helped a lot with his mobility. And he was always like I said, he was always a pretty good defender. But now, like you said, his blocking is so much better. He's got that burst now. More athletic.
Yep. And the graphic that they showed during the game, as we mentioned at the top of the show, strongest arm in Major League Baseball right now. Hardest throw down second.
Stassi was put on the 60-day. So the
Stassi
earliest
should never play for this team.
So the earliest he can come back
is June. As soon as they sign Maldonado, there's no reason for Stassi now. There's not,
it's like that Office meme when she holds up the two pitchers and she goes, "It's the same pitcher." Stassi and Maldonado, it's the same thing. And no, cut them both.
They should
I don't
do.
give a shit. Cut
Yeah,
them both.
they
Bring
need
up
to do what
Quero.
McLaren did with David Malukas. This you guys would know the reference, but this IndyCar driver, he broke his wrist mountain biking before the season. They're like, okay, we'll get a sub for you for the first 2 races. Wasn't back after the first 2 races, and they're like, sorry, we're not renewing your contract. You're out.
Tough,
And
yeah,
they
tough.
just
I-
signed- poor kid,
for the
like
record-
19 years old too.
For the record, I totally got that reference right off the bat.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know why I brought that up. That was the first thing that came to mind.
I don't know, man. So much has to change. I think they're going to keep calling up kids to fill in rotation spots when Brad Keller's arm falls off. I just don't know. I don't know. But
I gotta head back out to my live shop. Before I do, though, kind of a funny story. So last night, well, okay, I shouldn't be laughing, but last night this truck on I-70 caught on fire, and what was in it was a bunch of bourbons. No, you get to the funny. You haven't get to the funny. Fair enough. So the couch is on fire. No one died. No one was hurt. It's all good. Just a bunch of bourbon caught on fire.
10 dead. Hilarious.
Oh my! I had that happen once too. I was like, I made some stupid joke with like the weatherman because it was called, they call it like a weather chat. I was anchoring like the Dune show, and I made some dumb joke, and then I turned to the teleprompter, and the next story was literally like 14 people have died in an earthquake, and like, it was such an awful translation.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
but anyway,
someone find that clip for us, please.
I actually probably can. I actually think I think I can find that. I'll send it in the chat if I can. But anyway, so the truck catches on fire. I get this call from this guy who like doesn't work for the news station at all, but I interviewed him like in the past. Say, hey Mitch, like, did you hear about like that truck that like caught on fire? I'm like, yeah, I heard about it. What type of bourbon was it? It's like, what? So do you know what type of bourbon it was that caught on fire? And apparently the station got like 3 different calls from viewers that were asking what was the bourbon that caught on fire. So I found that kind of funny because usually viewer calls are just complaining about stuff. So anyway.
Like, was that going to be the only shipment of that bourbon that was going to come in?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. Was it a cheap thing of bourbon, or was it like good bourbon that was like aged for like years or something? So like that's what everyone wanted to know. Like, what type of bourbon was it? Like,
So what type of bourbon was it?
We don't know yet.
Ooh.
We have not found out. So it's a big mystery. That's what everyone wants to know.
Get the bums on the case.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'll have to ask. Anyway, gentlemen, it's a pleasure. I'll see if I can find that clip.
Speaking of embarrassing clips, although did you see this? Stephen A. Smith said live on television that Mike Trout tearing his meniscus is karma for him staying with Anaheim.
Oh, Steven.
First, why is he talking about baseball?
Well, it was him and the other fucking guy. What's his name? The Mad Dog? Right?
Mad Dog with his fucking stupid purple tie. Fucking asshole.
Oh, actually, glad you brought that up. I have no idea. I don't know how, I don't know when the year was that this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But why does Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN suck so much, man?
It's not great.
Like, it's not even like, oh, Joe Buck hates my team. I hate this national broadcast. It's not. It's just like somebody, I forget who it was, but I was like, it's just like a late night talk show, and like there happens to be a baseball game. It's like, dude, man, what the fuck is this shit? It's so bad. That Sunday game, the Cubs ended up losing in the 9th. They got walked off. But they made it exciting at the end, tying it 4-4. I watched like an inning and a half because I was like, the Cubs were down early. They weren't doing much on offense and they were losing. But I was like I don't really want to sit through like 2 or 3 hours of this ESPN broadcast. Like any time that it shows up on the schedule, it's like Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. I'm like, fuck. Probably not going to watch that game. They're so bad. When did that happen?
I don't know. My first intake of it was that Cubs game, and
dude, it
used to be like appointment television. Like if you were a baseball fan, no matter who was playing, no matter what was going on, you watched Sunday Night Baseball, and it like signified the end of the week. It was like, oh, game's over. I'm going to bed. I got work tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it was like a bookend, if you will, for the week. Like kind of like how Sunday Night Football is. And
like John Miller on the call. Like I was never a huge fan of Joe Morgan because like I always heard like growing up, it's like, oh well, like, it was Sandberg versus Morgan. So like, I had that meatball like, oh, Joe Morgan sucks, but like give me that over whatever the hell's happening right now.
Yeah, I don't really get it. I'll probably give it another world because I just don't want to make a judgment based on one viewing.
Like, give me John Triffin in the booth. It's gonna be like that.
I don't think it's super fair, but Cubs Sox on Sunday Night Baseball back-to-back weekends in 2008 was legendary. Yeah.
Yes. Dude, remember the like the double no hitters that were going on?
Like wild shit always happened on Sunday night, and it was like always great to bet Sunday Night Baseball because like everybody was watching it, and like you get on social media like a Twitter
then,
or something. Yeah.
And I guess one of the reasons is because like there are more national games or whatever. I don't know, but like it felt like a huge deal.
Yep.
Like it felt like a primetime game. Now it's kind of just like, oh fuck, it's on ESPN.
Right.
Damn.
It's almost like they're doing too much.
Yeah, no, like I know a few years ago we talked about like, yeah, like the in-game interviews are cool. I don't know, man. I don't think they're good. No, take them out. I don't think they're cool anymore. Sucks.
Yeah, I feel like they're taking something away from us. There because that was like a prized thing. Sunday Night Baseball was a big deal. All right, although I wanted you to talk about your boy.
Well, I have plenty. Which
your Cy Young / Rookie of the Year candidate pitcher for the White Sox.
For the White Sox?
No, for the Cubs. Sorry, no one on the White Sox.
Eric Fetty. Hey, can you go back to back in different leagues?
That'd be sick.
Shota Imanaga has a 0.78 ERA. That's ERA. That's not his whip. That's a 0.78 ERA. His whip is 0.75. If you like to gamble,
6 starts.
If you like to gamble, bet on him. Bet on the Cubs when he pitches. The Cubs are 6-0 in his starts this year. He is personally 5-0. He should be 6-0. He got screwed because there was a rain delay in the Dodgers game that he started. He is we're talking about Eric Fetty looking like a steal. Shota Imanaga signed like a 3-year, like $43 million deal with like options to make it 4 years 60, 5 years 80. This is like the steal of free agency. This is a highway robbery. Again, 6 starts, but so far, this guy. Remember we were talking about when they first signed. It's like, man, like, what if he gives up like the home runs?
No, and I was the biggest skeptic of it. I was like, oh, he doesn't got the
overpowering
stuff.
Yeah,
he throws too slow.
He's only given up. I mean, he's given up 2 home runs. Like that. That's it. He's incredible. Good, I don't know what
he's very good.
His start Wednesday night against the Mets. He didn't have his A game. He was only throwing like 90, 91. He doesn't throw that hard anyway, but he normally throws like 92, 93. Maybe he gets it up to like 94 when the adrenaline gets pumping. But the splitter was like all right, but like his command wasn't all that great. He was. We know that the Cubs are trying to have him throw, the fastball up to get that swing and miss. Like there's a lot of pitches where he was missing too high up. It didn't matter. 7 innings. I think he only gave up 2 hits, 3 hits maybe. He doesn't walk, guys. So it's like, okay, well, he gives up a lot of contact, but like it's not going anywhere. They're pop-ups. Yeah. Like, okay, yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, like there's going to be a couple starts in the summer, that wind at Wrigley. It's going to make shit, a couple home runs. But if they're solo home runs, you'll take it. This guy doesn't walk anybody. He's incredible. As optimistic as I sometimes try to be, no way did I think this guy was going to be this amazing. No way.
So a couple things. One, I've never been more happy to be wrong because I was very wrong about him. I'll always admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong on this one. This is a big swing and a miss. But 2, he's easy to root for. Big smile, kind of the whole thing with the fans that wrote his name on their chest, and he got obvious shirts to get this, and he took the picture with them, and like big smile. He's rocking Blackhawks gear all around the city. Like, I like the guy.
I think maybe I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but the way he's on, he's kind of like Lance Lynn. Like he'll show you everything that he's feeling on the mound. Like he messes up, he goes to a home run, he's like, fuck. Or he's like, damn. He gets a big out, he's pumping the fist, he's coming off the field, high-fiving the catcher.
Didn't someone make a big catch for him and he did like a whole whoo?
Yes.
Like whoo.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, he's very expressive. Like, you love that. You want to see guys show off some of their emotion. We talk about guys showing off their emotion on the field. He is everything. You mentioned the Blackhawk stuff. Immediately he was pandering a little to the fans, but like he went to Blackhawks games. He said his like first week in Chicago, and this was even before free agency started officially. He was in the city, went to a Blackhawks game, loved it, returned like a couple of days later or something, bought the jersey. He was taking the photos outside the United Center next to the MJ statue. This guy just loves Chicago. He's like, I was joking all offseason. Like, I wanted his take on Justin Fields versus Caleb Williams because he was turning into a diehard Chicago sports fan. Like, he's like, I'm all in. And like, I love it. This guy.
This guy's very easy
you said,
to root for.
Everything is just off the charts with him. Great personality, great on the mound. He's had his worst start is like 5 innings, 2 runs. Like that's like, oh man, kind of off night. Gave up 2 runs. It was funny because actually I'm looking at his game log. It was 2 earned runs and against the Marlins, 6 innings. And it's funny because like the Marlins have one of the worst offenses,
right?
In baseball, it's like, man, this guy gives up 2 runs against one of the worst offenses. But yeah, it's like he's amazing.
And then yeah, and I'm looking. If you search his name on Twitter and just go to the video section. How do you not root? I mean, there's videos of him signing the Green Monster when they played in Boston. Like, the guy's just soaking it all in. He's taking advantage of the situation that he's in. He's got a ton of money, and he's playing really, really good. Really good.
Yeah. And again,
how's Yamamoto doing?
I think, well, he had that awful first start against San Diego. I think I think he's been like awesome, but
I know he's pitching right now. 2-1 with a 3.54 ERA, 37.
I know. So he only had that one bad start then.
107.
If his ERA is that low, because I think he had like 1 inning and he gave up 8 runs or something.
Yeah.
So that means he's been really good. Oh,
I'm looking here.
The Cubs. Bless you.
He hasn't gone more than 6 innings, so I'll say that.
Well, tonight 7.
No, I'm still talking about Yamamoto.
Oh, Yamamoto.
Yeah, he hasn't gone more than 6 innings in a game.
He has a high pitch count. It's a guy who strikes out a lot of guys, and it's like kind of like Dylan Cease. A lot of strikeouts, but a lot of high pitch counts.
He's never hit 100 pitches this year, though. He's at 99 and 97.
Hey man, you got to protect that $320-something million investment.
Yeah, you better get all them innings out of it. He does strike out a lot of people, though. That one start against San Diego is the only time he had under 5 strikeouts.
Oh wait, he only pitched like 1 inning, I think.
Yeah, 1 inning, 5 earned runs.
Yeah. So I mean, Yamamoto's also been. Obviously, the numbers don't look, but I mean, he's been pretty good too. The Cubs, dude. Nick Madrigal.
Is he gone?
Nah,
is he
he's
done
bad.
In Chicago finally? Is he finally out of the city?
Because of the injuries, he's still going to be on the roster for a bit. But I think once guys start getting healthy,
he just needs to get out of the city, dude.
Like literally, though, the only reason, and like it was like I was a little annoyed about it at spring train or after spring training, but like I got it because like we didn't know what Christopher Morel was going to be at third base defensively. But after like the first 5 games, Morel's been fine. He's been fine. Like he can play third
Right.
base.
I
So
haven't heard
there's
you guys
no
talk
like
about
there's
it,
no more
so,
reason for Nick Madrigal, especially because he can't hit. The dude just can't hit. I don't know what happened to Nicky Laser. What happened to the Laser Show, man? What happened to the guy who was hitting 330 or whatever? This
I
guy's
don't
not
know.
good.
He's always been very streaky. It's always been like that, and I wasn't happy when he landed with the Cubs because I really think he just needs to get the fuck out of the city. He needs to get out of Chicago.
Hey, man. I mean,
He
that's a
needs
guy who needs.
he
I
needs a
think
new start. He needs a new everything. I think he needs to get somewhere out west, like put him on the Diamondbacks or the Angels or
keep going. Keep going. Because I think he needs to learn Chinese, buddy, soon. Because this guy, he just can't hit. He can't hit, dude.
Oh, is that still a template? Can we find that template? with
Somebody, I
Shaq
know your
being
boy
like,
does
"Zing,
it.
zing, how?"
Yeah.
I haven't. No, he's taking a social media hiatus.
Oh.
Something with school or some shit.
Get in
but,
contact.
yeah.
Do it. Make him do a Nick Madrigal. Cubs fans,
Yeehaw!
and I get it. Ideally, because Nick Madrigal ideally is your perfect backup, right? It's like, oh, this guy makes contact. He plays good defense. Like, fine. But he's not even. He has like a 30 WRC plus. You can't have that guy playing. He doesn't hit. Patrick Wisdom, I know we shit on him all the time. Kevin doesn't like him. I am like either way with him, but he's also a bench guy who sometimes plays. But do you know what Patrick Wisdom can do? At least sometimes hit a home run.
Yep.
Maybe he gets hot for a week and he hits a couple home runs. You're just never gonna get that out of Nick Madrigal.
Oh.
Never.
So your boy Shota has the lowest ERA of any pitcher in his first 6 career starts since Fernando Venezuela
Venezuela.
in 1981.
Every
that's saying
time.
something, dude. Like,
Every time, I think literally after every start this year, Shota Managa just breaks a new record or ties a record or like this first pitcher to do something since this year or that year. No, he's been amazing, dude. 0.75. I mean, again, it's 6 starts, but like
6 starts is a pretty good sample
that's
size.
like Jake Arrieta 2015 second half stuff right there.
I mean, it's not the biggest body of work ever or whatever, but 6 starts you can start putting together a pretty good opinion on a pitcher.
He
Full
has
starts,
definitely, because we've seen it a lot with even the free agents who do end up getting good and they sign like big deals. Like, you know, sometimes they don't get off like the best starts in Chicago, right? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just making that a Chicago thing. Maybe it happens all over.
It feels like it for sure.
But it's like, you know, I remember John Lester, huge deal, but like his first month, he wasn't good. You know, other pitchers, Jameson Tyone last year, he signed a big deal. Like his first month, he wasn't good. He was injured, and then he came back and wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
But Shota Managa just right away. I mean, talk about like buying yourself some time with the fans, right? Because like if he struggles, like let's say he has like a bad rest of May, like let's say he makes like 5 more starts. You know, he has like a 5 ERA. Fans are going to cut him slack. They're going to be like, all right, well, I mean, you know, there's going to be some regression. You know, he's still, look at his overall ERA. He's still pretty good. But if it was the other way around, everybody would be like, hey, man, this guy signed on to be a big pitcher. Why is he terrible?
Right.
But now he kind of has that. I don't know how. It's always tough with like guys who come from other countries. Like, I don't know how much they pay attention to media stuff and like obviously different language.
Right.
But like but you know that they like put pressure on themselves anyway because they want to be good. So like now the pressure's kind of off.
Ian, you could say hi to us from any account. It's okay. But
well, no, Ian, have both, get 2 different browsers and let's get that view count up.
Let's keep it going.
No, but he's been incredible. He's been saving the Cubs. Why are the Cubs winning right now? The Cubs offense sucks right now, dude. It sucks. But they're getting good pitching. That's the only reason they're still winning these games. They're scoring like 1 run, 3 runs. You know, I know on Friday they scored 7 against the Red Sox, but then they got their ass kicked the next couple of days. But like they still haven't lost 3 games in a row this year. And why? Because again, you have good pitching. As long as you have good pitching, your offense can go through slumps. You can overcome some of the injuries. And so far, that's what they're doing. Bellinger. Oh, confirmed Cody Bellinger has the best weed in the world, I think.
Dude,
He
someone
has
did a breakdown video of how high he was.
Yeah, he supposedly, or like this was reported, CT scan and everything. 2 fractured ribs. They're saying he's going to come back right after the 10-day injured list. I thought it was going to be like 2 months.
THC and me, baby. That's the healing power, man. The healing power of the herb, son.
Like I know that he didn't hit the wall at Wrigley Field that hard, but like they still said fractured ribs.
Fractured ribs are fractured ribs. Do you know how much fractured ribs hurt? Have you ever broke your rib, dude?
I haven't, but like no,
It hurts.
breathing
to breathe,
hurts.
It hurts to breathe. I am a rib broken survivor, dude. Breaking a rib sucks. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to laugh. It hurts to stretch. It hurts to get up, get down. It hurts to roll over when you're asleep. It hurts. 2 fractured completely. That's a lot of pain. And so unless they're putting him in the Weapon X body, I don't know how he's coming back in 10 days.
Yeah, like what is he, like Wolverine? Like
Yeah, because that's like what they're giving him titanium ribs or some shit like that. Because that's unbelievable. It hurts so much, dude.
So he got hurt. He got hurt last Tuesday. Got put on the injured list Wednesday, and then he was back on the field Saturday, like taking swings again. It's like what? Okay, or Saturday or Sunday, I think. Let's take it.
I don't know how you swing a bat that soon if he fractured, but I mean something's not lining up for me. You know what I mean? Like
no, I'm with you. So I'm like, wait. They think that he's gonna be back like within like right what? Were they actually fractured?
Barbecue ribs are definitely. No, I want ribs. Fuck, I might have to hit up.
What's your rib place?
My brother.
No, okay.
Him or my cousin. So they make 2 vastly different style of ribs. My brother uses no sauce, all dry rub.
Dry rub.
And then my cousin does the sauce, but they're both impeccable. Okay. I'm very spoiled when it comes to that shit.
That's a pretty good hookup right
there. The Polish Viking leprechauns clan that I come from, there's some cooks in there, and I get a little bit of everything. Chuck's is good. Chuck's has good ribs. I go to Chuck's. I usually get the brisket. So.
Oh, by the way, I have to say, it is great having good Japanese players because you start to get those Japanese followers on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, and they are, yeah.
And they also are psychos about baseball, just like us. They love it.
Yes, and they should also follow the show because I'd love to hit that market. Maybe we should do a pitching breakdown.
Well, we need to have someone who speaks Japanese.
No, because remember when we did that for
the Seiya Suzuki, his swing with like Trout.
The swing video with Seiya Suzuki called Firing Overseas, and that thing just went. That's like one of our most viewed videos. Yeah. Pitching for the Ballers tonight had a no-hitter into the 6th and was losing 2-0. Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Read that again. Pitcher for the Ballers tonight had a no-hitter into the 6th and was losing 2-0. That sounds like a bad baseball riddle.
Like a lot of errors, walks. What was going on?
It had to have been.
Who was down there? Paul DeYoung?
Scrota Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. I watched Hellboy today. Baba Yaga's in Hellboy.
Oh.
Baba Yaga is a Russian mystical creature that supposedly eats kids, or AKA the Boogeyman.
Is Michael Kopech bad now again?
Michael Kopech needs to figure out how to make his fastball move.
Michael Kopech is making me not want to trade for him anymore.
He throws very, very hard, but it's very, very straight. And when he has the slider going, he is a very tough guy to hit, but that's an if. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't going every time. And so
Looks like here he's given up at least 1 run in like half of his last 8 outings. Not good.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's another guy. Come on, Michael. Do you want to pitch on a playoff team?
If you're a Major League Baseball hitter, you can hit 101 if it's dead straight.
Oh, and again, circling back to Shota Imanaga. Dude throws 91, 92, 93.
But it moves.
Like it's the way that the ball moves. It's the way it comes off his hand that just makes it unhittable up in the zone. Like, yeah, you can throw 100. If it's right down the middle, guys can hit it, like you said.
I'm sure you could, Jack. Yeah, I mean, again, if he has the slider working, he's a very tough guy to hit. But if he's going up there just trying to overpower people, like Zach Birdie, it's a pitching machine. It's dead straight. There's no movement on it whatsoever. And guys see, they come up to a box, they see one pitch, like, okay, these are major league hitters, so they're going to get the timing pretty quickly. And if they can get the timing down, that ball comes in that hard, it goes out even harder.
Even harder. Yeah.
And he's a juiced up pitching machine when that slider's not working.
I mean, and that's like, he's kind of similar to like Eloy, right? Like pitching wise, when you think about it, it's a guy who had, top prospect, showed talent, showed flashes, but it's like the inconsistency.
I feel like Kopech's in a way better spot than Eloy. There could be a small tweak in Kopech's shit and he could be unhittable. He could be the dude out in Oakland. Eloy, I think there's a
he only has one good season.
His first season as the closer, though.
But I know I'm saying he only has up to he only has one good season.
I see what you're saying. All right. I guess I was talking more about what could happen.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. If he figures it out, he can become a good high leverage guy.
Yeah.
And I guess there's a better possibility of that because he does have the tools. It's just
I'm pretty sure they fixed something with grip, rotation, he can start putting a little spin on that ball. And
I do wonder though, it's now year whatever with him in the White Sox. Maybe that's a guy where another team does better with him because whatever is happening right now isn't working consistently. He obviously has the flashes, but it's not every time out. Maybe the Cubs fix him.
Maybe, dude. At this point, there's not a move that the White Sox can make that would upset me. I mean, they've already signed him so many wash vets.
Oh, that brings me. We can wrap up the show with this because I think this is a good conversation. If you guys had the opportunity, it's a two-parter. Do you want Jose Abreu back? One.
For how much?
Okay, yeah, that was part of it. But then, two, let's say the Astros do DFA him, he goes unclaimed, and you can just sign him back on the league minimum. And it's like, hey, Jose Abreu, homecoming, finish out your career where you started it. We can all have a good time. Yay. But also, part two of that is let's say that does happen. Would you still be okay with if Jose Abreu remains bad or gets worse? It's like, oh man, I don't think I wanted to see this.
So, Jose Abreu on a minimum? Yeah, I get the whole one-day contract retire as a White Sox. That's, I think that was going to happen.
No, that's different. This is Jose, you're still going to play with us for at least just 4 more months or something. I don't know.
And hand up, I know how bad he's been. I haven't watched. You know what I mean? I haven't watched his at-bats. I haven't watched any of that stuff, so I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. And to me, it speaks volumes of his character, of that he truly just wants to win, that he agreed, hey, man, I think I should go down to triple. I'm hurting this team right now. I should go to AAA. I'll figure it out while no one's watching. and when I'm good to go, I'll come back up. And Houston, who's got 40 mil tied to it, was like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that works. Like,
They're just like, we're not going to be playing you. So yeah, please try to fix it.
And we all know Jose's a notorious slow starter, but this is really slow. Like this
It's like back-to-back years of like really bad,
really
bad starts.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't hate it. I mean, Andrew Vaughn seems like I'm never gonna say he figured it out, but it seems like he's coming along a little bit. He's trending in the right direction.
I guess my main question though is like again, hypothetical is like we're a long way from this being a possibility, but is there a part of you where you're like, man, like if you do get a Brady back, league minimum, cool, it's not costing, it's not hurting your team, and like you want it because like it's a feel good moment or it's a feel good something that's happening for your team, but like there's not part of you, it's like I don't want to see this guy be bad.
I know what you're saying. Like you never want to watch your favorite player his demise,
like crumble. Yeah, like his just downfall.
I mean, and I'm not saying he's coming out of it. It's just he's hit, and I don't remember. We went over it earlier. The show,
relatively speaking, he's
Vaughn. I mean, he had no way to go but up. But he's still bad. But he had no way to go but up. He's had hits in like, what was it, like 6 out of the last 8 games or something like that.
Showing something. I don't know the quality of hits, but it's something.
Literally
they're falling.
Literally one way to go. But I get what you're saying about a Brady though. Like, do I want to watch him go up there and hit .067? You know what I mean? And that's pretty realistic right now. But I don't know. I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites. I mean,
like I'll say this: if this does become a possibility, do it like next year.
Yeah, I get that.
Like do it like it's like okay, he only has 1 year left. The team probably, I mean, most likely is still not going to be good. Given the Miguel Cabrera playing time, like I don't know.
Let him do a victory lap. Like, I don't know.
I mentioned how it kind of seemed like it was a Rick Hahn thing where he was the one who wanted to move on. Like, do you think he had the comments after he left the White Sox? I do wonder if he still has some hard feelings though. Like, would he want to come back to the Sox?
I don't know. It's a whole new regime, so who knows? But
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to wrap it up with something
and then make him manager over Pedro.
Your boy, Shora, where's the fucking comment go? Oh, here he goes. The reporter, what was it like pitching in New York for the first time? Shora, well, I recognize the hotel view from Spider-Man. You root for that guy, man. That guy's awesome.
He's amazing, dude.
He's going to be on MLB Central tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern live. So that should be interesting.
He won the first ever MLB Network's hard pitch award. I don't know what that is, but he won it.
I don't know what that is either. All right, man. Yeah.
Shout out Shota. Cubs are alive.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's better next week. I don't think it will be. What do the White Sox got?
Cardinals. Cardinals aren't good. They're kind of like the Rays. They're bad.
Yeah. What do we got going? What are we cooking here? Who's
after the Cardinals?
Thursday's a day off. 3 in St. Louis, and then 3 in Tampa Bay.
Okay, winning streak?
6-gamer, baby, and then we gotta play Cleveland at home, and Cleveland is good. Yeah, but hey, man, what we got? We got Keller versus Gray, Fetty versus Ling, Crochet versus TBH, Soroka versus Alexander, Flexen versus Eflin, Keller versus Savali, Fetty versus Lively, Crochet versus Cross. Oh, okay, well, you got to figure there's going to be a Clevenger in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think they said he's going to come back against the Rays.
Cool. All right, man. Well, for all though I'm Zoe, this is Pinwheels and Ivy. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us, and we'll see you guys next week. Go buy some shit from Homage.
Come on.